Hello and welcome to day 187 of our Chronological Bible in a Year reading. Today we have 2 Kings chapter 14 and 2 Chronicles chapter 25. 2 Kings chapter 14. Jumping right in. In the second year of Joash, bless you.
Sorry.
You're good. In the second year of Joash, son of Joahaz, sovereign of Yisrael, Ametziahu, son of Joash, sovereign of Yehuda, began to reign. He was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jehoadin of Jerusalem. And he did what was right in the eyes of Yahuwah, but did not like his father David. He did according to all his father Joash did. However, the high places were not taken away. The people still slaughtered and burned incense on the high places. And it came to be as soon as the rein was strong in his hand that he smote his servants who had smitten his father the sovereign. But he did not put to death the children of the murderers, according to what is written in the book of the Torah of Moshe, in which Yahuwah commanded, saying, Fathers are not put to death for the children, and children are not put to death for the fathers, but each one is put to death for his own sin. He smote Edom in the valley of Salt, 10,000, and took Selah in battle, and called its name Yokthael to this day. Amatziah then sent messengers to Jehoash, son of Jehoahaz, son of Jehu, sovereign of Yisrael, saying, Come, let us look each other in the face. And Jehoash, sovereign of Yisrael, sent to Ametziahu, sovereign of Yehuda, saying, The thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, Give your daughter to my son as wife. And a wild beast that was in Lebanon passed by and trampled the thistle. You have certainly smitten Edom, and your heart has lifted you up. Be esteemed and stay in your house. But why do you stir up yourself to evil that you should fall, you and Yehuda with you? But Ametziahu did not listen. So Jehoash, sovereign of Yisrael, went up, and he and Ametziahu, sovereign of Yehuda, faced one another at Beth Shemesh, which belongs to Yehuda. And Yehuda was smitten before Yisrael, and they each fled to his tent. And Jehoash, sovereign of Yisrael, caught Ametziahu, sovereign of Yehuda, son of Jehoash, son of Ahaziahu, at Beth Shemesh. And they came to Jerusalem, and he broke through the wall of Jerusalem from the gate of Ephraim to the corner gate, 400 ema, and took all the gold and silver and all the objects that were found in the house of Yahuwah and in the treasuries of the sovereign's house, and hostages, and returned to Shomron. And the rest of the acts of Jehoash which he did, and his might, and how he fought with Ametziahu, sovereign of Yehuda, are they not written in the book of the annals of the sovereigns of Israel? So Jehoash slept with his fathers and was buried in Shomron with the sovereigns of Israel. And Jeroboam his son reigned in his place. And Ametziahu, son of Joash, sovereign of Yehuda, lived 15 years after the death of Jehoash, son of Jehoahaz, sovereign of Israel. And the rest of the acts of Ametziahu, are they not written in the book of the annals of the sovereigns of Yehuda? And they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish. And they sent after him to Lachish, and killed him there, and brought him on horses, and he was buried at Jerusalem with his fathers in the city of David. And all the people of Yehuda took Azariah, who was 16 years old, and appointed him to reign instead of his father Ametziahu. He built Elath, and restored it to Yehuda, after the sovereign slept with his fathers. In the 15th year of Ametziahu, son of Joash, the sovereign of Yehuda, Jeroboam, son of Joash, the sovereign of Yisrael, began to reign in Shomron, and reigned 41 years. And he did evil in the eyes of Yahuwah. He did not turn away from all the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, who made Yisrael sin. He restored the border of Israel from the entrance of Hamath to the sea of the Arabah, according to the word of Yahuwah Elohim of Yisrael, which he had spoken through his servant Jonah, son of Amittai, the Nabi, which means prophet, who was from Gath Hepher. For Yahuwah saw that the affliction of Yisrael was very bitter, and there was no one, neither shut up nor left at large, to help Israel. And Yahuwah had not said that he would blot out the name of Israel from under the Shemaim, which means the heavens, but saved them by the hand of Jeroboam son of Joash. And the rest of the acts of Jeroboam and all that he did, and his might, how he fought, and how he recovered Damasek and Hamath for Yehudah and Israel, are they not written in the book of the annals of the sovereigns of Israel? So Jeroboam slept with his fathers, the sovereigns of Israel, and Zechariah his son reigned in his place. And now we're going to 2 Chronicles, and that is chapter 20. Is it 25? Yep, 25. 2 Chronicles chapter 25. Okay. Amatziyahu was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And the name of his mother was Jehoaddan of Jerusalem. And he did what was right in the eyes of Yahuwah, but not with a perfect heart. And it came to be upon his strong control of the reign that he slew his servants who had smitten his father the sovereign. But he did not put their children to death, but did as it is written in the Torah in the book of Moshe, where Yahuwah commanded, saying, Fathers are not put to death for their children, and children are not put to death for their fathers, but each one has to die for his own sin. And Amatziyahu gathered Yehudah and appointed over them commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds, according to the fathers' houses, for all Yehudah and Benjamin. And he registered them from 20 years old and above, and found them to be 300,000 choice men, going out to the army, handling spear and shield. And he hired 100,000 mighty brave ones from Israel for 100 kikars of silver. But a man of Elohim came to him, saying, O sovereign, do not let the army of Israel go with you, for Yahuwah is not with Israel, with all the children of Ephraim. But if you are going, do it. Be strong in battle, or Elohim would make you fall before the enemy, for Elohim has power to help and to overthrow. And Amatziyahu said to the man of Elohim, But what do we do about the 100 kikars which I have given to the army of Israel? And the man of Elohim answered, Yahuwah has more to give you than this. So Amatziyahu dismissed the army that had come to him from Ephraim to go back home. And they were greatly enraged against Yehudah, and they returned home in a rage. And Amatziyahu strengthened himself and led his people, and went to the valley of Salt, and smote 10,000 of the sons of Seir. And the sons of Yehudah took captive another 10,000 alive, and they brought them to the top of the rock, and threw them down from the top of the rock, and all of them were dashed to pieces. And the soldiers of the army which Amatziyahu had sent back from going with him to battle, they raided the cities of Yehudah from Shomron to Beth Horon, and smote 3,000 in them, and took much spoil. And it came to be, after Amatziyahu came from smiting the Edomites, that he brought the mighty ones of the people of Seir, and stood them up to be his mighty ones, and bowed down before them, and burned incense to them. Therefore the displeasure of Yahuwah burned against Amatziyahu, and he sent him a Nabi, again a prophet, who said to him, Why have you sought the mighty ones of the people, which did not deliver their own people from your hand? And it came to be, as he talked with them, that the sovereign said to him, Have we appointed you counselor to the sovereign? Stop! Why should they smite you? Then the Nabi stopped and said, I know that Elohim has counseled to destroy you, because you have done this, and have not listened to my counsel. And Amatziyahu, sovereign of Yehudah, took counsel, and sent to Joash, son of Jehoahaz, son of Jehu, sovereign of Israel, saying, Come, let us look each other in the face. And Joash, sovereign of Israel, sent to Amatziyahu, sovereign of Yehudah, saying, The thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, Give your daughter to my son as wife. And a wild beast that was in Lebanon passed by and trampled the thistle. You have said, See, I have smitten Edom, and your heart has lifted you up to boast. Now stay at home. Why should you stir up yourself to evil, that you should fall, you and Yehudah with you? But Amatziyahu did not listen, for it came from Elohim, in order to give them into the hand of their enemies, because they had sought the mighty ones of Edom. So Joash, sovereign of Yisrael, went out, and he and Amatziyahu, sovereign of Yehudah, faced one another at Beth-shemesh, which belongs to Yehudah. And Yehudah was smitten before Yisrael, and they each fled to his tent. And Joash, the sovereign of Yisrael, caught Amatziyahu, sovereign of Yehudah, son of Joash, son of Jehoahaz, at Beth-shemesh, and brought them to Jerusalem, and broke down the wall of Jerusalem from the gate of Ephraim to the corner gate, 400 ema, and took all the gold and the silver and all the utensils that were found in the house of Elohim with Obed-Edom, and the treasures of the sovereign's house and hostages, and returned to Shomeron. And Amatziyahu, son of Joash, sovereign of Yehudah, lived 15 years after the death of Joash, son of Jehoahaz, sovereign of Israel. And the rest of the acts of Amatziyahu, from the first to the last, see, are they not written in the book of the sovereigns of Yehudah and Israel? And from the time that Amatziyahu turned away from following Yahuwah, they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish, or Lachish, I don't remember how I said earlier. And they sent after him to Lachish and killed him there. And they brought him on horses and buried him with his fathers in the city of Yehudah. And that wraps up our reading today. And I thank you for joining, and as always, I hope you're reading along and reading for yourself. And peace and blessings and love to you. See you in the next one.